Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be sharing the cards I made using Love From Lizi's October 2023 card kit called Better Together. As I'm recording this voiceover, the kit and most of the add-ons are still available, and I do have links provided in the description box below. I'll be using several of the October add-on products, including the 6x8 pattern paper that coordinates with the pattern paper in the kit. So let's go ahead and get started with card number 1. I will be using card sketches for inspiration. The first sketch is from OWH. This is number 161. And if you are interested in any of the sketches I use in this video, I share all of that information on my coordinating blog post. That link is in the description box, or you can simply head over to KristieMarcotte.com. For my first card, I selected this lovely pink floral paper for the background, layered it on some dark green cardstock. For the narrow strip that goes across the card, this is more pattern paper. It's a light green color and it has a very slight texture look. I'm adding 2 of the ribbons that are included in the kit. I have double-sided adhesive tape on the back. I'll wrap the ends of the ribbon around the back of this strip. And to help make sure the ends of the ribbon don't come out, I'm also putting a piece of double-sided adhesive tape on the back side. Then I'll adhere it at the lower portion of the card. I'll flip over the card front, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. For a little extra contrast and shine, I'm adding some Love From Lizi peel-offs along the edge of the green strip. This is the green moondust color in the pinstripe style. Instead of the oval that's indicated on the card sketch, I'm adding one of the banners that's included in the kit. It has the same lovely pink flowers in the center. I put foam dimension on the back. I'll remove the release paper and adhere it on the left side of the card. Next, I'll add some mini circle peel-offs in the upper right-hand corner. This is the racing green mirror color. I'm using the largest size. For a final finishing touch, I'm using a clear glitter brush and adding some sparkle to all of the pink flowers on the banner. For several cards in the video, I decided not to add a sentiment. For card number 2, the card sketch is from Sketch Saturday. This is number 735. I selected this fun pattern paper for the background that has lots and lots of houses. For the narrow strip on the left side of the card, this is a tone-on-tone pattern with lots of small triangles. I'll adhere the narrow strip down first, and I do have some double-sided adhesive tape on the back. I'm layering both of the pattern paper pieces on some dark gray cardstock. I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. For a little bit of separation between the 2 pattern paper pieces, I'm using the peel-offs that are included in the kit. This is the sky blue mirror color in the sway design. I'm using the medium width and I have the scallop edge on the left side of the card. The card kit includes a 12x12 sheet with lots of cut aparts. I spent time and fussy cut all of those pieces out. The little frame is one of those pieces on the cut apart sheet. It's perfect to add a sentiment. The Home Sweet Home sentiment is part of the stamp set that's included in the kit. I have foam dimension on the back of the sentiment frame. First, I'll add the 3 narrow strips that go behind the sentiment. I selected all tone-on-tone patterns. I have a yellow, more of the gray that's on the left side of the card, and a green design. I'm cutting the ends of the narrow strips the same way that's indicated on the card sketch. I think it adds a fun design. Then I'll put glue on the back and adhere all 3 strips onto the card in the lower right-hand corner. I'll lay the sentiment on top to make sure I get the placement correct. Once I have all 3 strips in place, I'll remove the release paper and add my sentiment in the lower right-hand corner. For a final finishing touch, using some of the gem stickers that are included in the kit, I'll put 2 in the lower right-hand corner and 3 in the upper left-hand corner. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 2. I think this card would be perfect for a new home or welcome to the neighborhood card. For card number 3, the card sketch is from Sketch Saturday. This is number 373. The card sketch is drawn as a horizontal card, but I'll be switching it to a vertical card. For the background of my card, I'm using more of the green paper that has that slight texture look, and I did cut it out using one of Love From Lizi's stitched rectangle dies. I'll layer it on some green cardstock that's slightly darker than the green pattern paper. On the back of the pattern paper, since it has the stitched edge, I did use ATG tape and also some glue, and that'll help it lay nice and flat. I'll add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. For the 2 narrow strips that go across the card, I'm using some white pearlescent cardstock, and this is part of the Pearlescent cardstock add-on bundle. Next, I'll add one of the banners that's included in the kit. It's pink and it has 3 sweet little kittens all sitting together. I did put foam dimension on the back. I'll adhere the banner on the left side of the card. For a sentiment, I'm adding the word meow, and this is a die that's included in the kit. I cut out 2 pieces from the same green cardstock I used for the background layer. I'll glue the 2 together, and this will add just that little bit of dimension and extra stability. I'll adhere it on the right side of the banner. Most of the letter M will be sitting on the banner, so I want to make sure the rest of the word doesn't droop down, so I am putting some thin foam dimension behind the rest of the sentiment. I'll remove the release paper, put glue behind the M, and adhere it in place. I'm trying to make sure to get the sentiment straight before I really push it down. I'll add 3 of the gem stickers that are included in the kit, put them around the sentiment. Then for a final finishing touch, I'm using a clear glitter brush, adding sparkle to the 3 flowers and also the rosy cheeks of the kittens. So there is my finished card, and I love how this one turned out. It's one of my favorites. There are so many adorable cat and dog images in the kit. Now moving on to card number 4. For the background of my card, I'm using a light pink pattern paper with white speckles, and I cut it out using Love From Lizi's label die set. I'll put glue on the back, making sure to get it along that stitched edge, and I'll layer it on some light pink pearlescent cardstock. Across the card, I'm adding one of the ribbons that's included in the kit. It has lots of little paw prints. I'm using the grid on my craft mat to line up my card front. That way I can get the ribbon nice and straight across the card. I'll put a piece of double-sided adhesive tape down first, then add the ribbon. I'll wrap the ends of the ribbon around the back, secure them in place with some more double-sided adhesive tape. Using my scissors, I'll trim off more of the extra ribbon, remove the release paper, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. And of course, I ran out of ATG tape, so I did need to pause the video and go and refill it. Using the same Love From Lizi label die set, I cut out a smaller piece using some green tone-on-tone grid paper. I will pop up this piece using some thin foam dimension. I'm using honeybee stamps black foam strips. I'll make sure to get good coverage so there isn't one area that sags. Remove the release paper and add it to the center of the card, trying to get it lined up nice and straight. I love all the new stitch die sets that Lizi's been releasing. She has rectangles, circles, ovals, tags, and also the label set I'm showing here. And she includes as many sizes as possible, so you can get that perfect matted layer. Next, I'll add a couple of cat images, and these are from the 12x12 cut apart sheet. I'll put the gray cat on the very left side of the green label die cut, and add the sweet little white kitten on the right side of the gray cat. I'm adding the same meow sentiment, and I did cut out 2 pieces and adhere them together. I'll adhere the sentiment on the right side of the label die cut. For a final finishing touch, I'm adding 3 heart peel-offs above the sentiment. And these are from Love From Lizi's new heart border peel-off set. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 4. For card number 5, the card sketch is from Freshly Made Sketches. This is number 602. I have this fun cloud paper for the background, adding a panel of the gray tone-on-tone triangle pattern paper, and I'm layering everything on some dark gray cardstock. At the bottom of the card, I'll add some Love From Lizi peel-offs. This is the green moondust color in the pinstripe style. I'm using the widest and medium width. The moondust peel-offs and also the glitter peel-offs are slightly thicker than some of the others, so I don't wrap them around the back. Instead, I'll use my scissors and trim off the end. Now I'll layer this panel on the same dark gray cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. The card kit does include several sheets of colored cardstock, but I always bring in additional cardstock since I like to add lots of layers to my cards. On the card sketch, the small rectangle piece shows using 2 different pattern papers or cardstock. I used 1 pattern paper for that entire piece. Then I'll add 1 of the narrow banners that's included in the kit. That's the nice thing about using card sketches. They're there for inspiration. You can follow them exactly or change them up for what works best for you. For a sentiment, I've already stamped out "You Are the Best," and this is from Love From Lizi's A Moment in Time stamp set. I'll adhere that piece first, then add the banner with the dog on it next. I did put some scrap cardstock pieces behind the banner, above and below where it goes over the sentiment strip. For a final finishing touch, I'll add a couple of paw print die cuts that are included in the kit. I cut them out from the same dark gray cardstock. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 5. For card number 6, the card sketch is from OWH. This is number 196. I selected 3 different pattern papers. I have a tone-on-tone, sort of grayish cream pattern paper for the background. The featured pattern paper has lots of dog images. And for the narrow strip underneath the dog paper, I'm using more of the green paper that has that slight texture look. I'll layer the background and also the dog piece on some black cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base. After looking at the card front, I felt there needed to be some separation between the dog paper and that green strip underneath. So I'm adding a Love From Lizi peel-off. This is the black color in pinstripe style. I'll use a craft knife to trim the right side of the peel-off. I've already stamped the sentiment "Hello" on one of the frame cut-aparts. The "Hello" is from Love From Lizi's, I believe it's called Hello Sunshine set. It's one of my favorites. You can never go wrong with a general sentiment like "Hello." I'll put thin foam dimension on the back, remove the release paper, and add the frame on the narrow green strip toward the bottom of the card. Lizi likes to include some unusual items in her card kits. This month she has a sheet of cork with adhesive on the back. Using the cork and the 2 paw print dies that are included in the kit, I cut out 2 sizes. Some of the release paper on the back came off easily. Other pieces wanted to stay, like the area behind the toes. So I did use my tweezers to push out those extra pieces. I'll remove the release paper on the back side and add both of the paw prints on the left side of the sentiment. The cork paper is nice and thin, so it doesn't add a lot of dimension, but it has a really fun texture. Using some of the black cardstock, I'll cut a small banner and adhere it in the upper left-hand corner. I'll first cut a fishtail on the bottom, cut the right side in slightly at an angle, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. Then I'll put glue on the back and adhere it in place. The very top of the banner will sit slightly above the dog pattern paper. For a final finishing touch, I'll add some of the gem stickers that are included in the kit. Put 2 on the banner and 3 around the sentiment. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 6. Card number 7 is a very simple card. Many of the cut apart pieces are perfect for creating a fun indoor scene. I used some green tone-on-tone pattern paper that sort of looks like wallpaper. Have that for the background. Adding a strip of yellow pattern paper at the bottom. Has a slight texture look, so I think that works perfect for carpet. Next, I'll add a Love From Lizi peel off between the 2 pieces. This is the straight design in the white color. I'll wrap the ends around the back, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base. Now I'll start adhering all the different cut apart images. I have a yellow chair. I'll adhere that on the right side of the card. 2 different plants, and I'll put those on the left side of the card. Put the taller one down first, the shorter one to the right, overlapping it slightly. I have a sweet little white dog image, and his tail will overlap one of the planters. The sentiment is from the sticker sheet that's included in the kit. 2 little hearts on the right and left side with the sentiment, "There is no place like home." And I'll adhere that in the upper right hand corner. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 7. For card number 8, this sketch is from MFT. This is number 652. I printed out this sketch several months ago, but I haven't used it. When I saw all the narrow banners that are included in the kit, I knew this sketch would be perfect. For the background of my card, I'm using some of the light brown pearlescent cardstock. This is from the add-on bundle. I'll layer it on some black cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, this time leaving 1/4 of an inch of the white card base showing. 4 of the banners are the ephemera pieces that are included in the kit. The wider banner, I'm using some pink pattern paper with the white speckles. I'll cut a fishtail on the bottom, trying to create about the same size fishtail as the ephemera pieces. I've already trimmed down the other banner pieces following the sketch design. I'll add the pink stripe banner on the right side, then the wider pink and white banner. On the left side of the card, I'm adding the pink banner with some flowers. Next, I'll add the banner with the pink flowers, put that on the right side, and the smaller banner on the left side features an adorable cat image. For a sentiment, I've already stamped out with love, and this is from Love From Lizi's From the Heart stamp set that was included in a previous kit. All of the Love From Lizi stamp sets I'm using, you can purchase individually. I'll layer the sentiment on some black cardstock and adhere it in the upper right hand corner following the design of the card sketch. For a final finishing touch, I'll put 2 mini heart peel-offs above the sentiment using the pretty gold color. And I'll also add some black mini circle peel-offs in the lower left-hand corner using the largest size. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 8. This was a fun sketch. I think it would be perfect to finish off some scrap pattern paper. Now moving on to card number 9. I have 2 different pattern papers, a light tan tone-on-tone with the triangles for the background, and some of the green pattern paper with that slight texture look. I cut that piece out using one of Love From Lizi's label dies. I'll adhere it onto the pattern paper background, then layer that piece on some craft cardstock. Put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. This card features one of the add-on dies. This is called Angel Dog. There's also an Angel Cat. You can see it's a nice large size. I cut it out from some of the brown pearlescent cardstock. I do have foam dimension on the back, but I only put it behind the dog's body, not the wings. That way I can lift them up for some extra dimension. Lizi included lots of fun metal charms in the kit. I selected a heart that has "Love My Dog" on one side and a paw print on the other. I attached the metal charm to some green and white twine from my stash. Then I'll tie the heart charm around the neck of the dog. And with all the foam dimension on the back, that little charm isn't going anywhere. I'll remove the release paper and add my dog on the label die cut, putting it a little closer toward the bottom. That way I have enough room to add a sentiment. I stamped out the sentiment "Heartfelt Hugs," and this is from Love From Lizi's Magnolia Lane stamp set. Since there's not enough space on the card to keep the two words together on one line, I'll separate the two words, put foam dimension on the back, then add "Heartfelt Hugs" in the upper left-hand corner. And I'm adding each of the words at a slight angle, just for some extra interest. For a final finishing touch, I'll add 3 of the gem stickers that are included in the kit, put them in the lower right-hand corner. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 9. This sweet image is perfect for adding to a card to send to a family or friend who's lost a dog. I've had to send many cards like this over the past couple years. Now moving on to card number 10. Lizi's included lots of fun wooden pieces, mostly houses, but also 2 bicycles. So I thought I would use the bicycle. You can use the pieces as is with the wood finish, or you can decorate them. One of my favorite ways to decorate the wood pieces is to do heat embossing. But this time I thought I would use a gold paint pen, and it works beautifully. Just make sure to let it dry for a few minutes. I selected 2 pattern papers for the background. I have this fun leaf design, and I'm adding a narrow strip of a green tone-on-tone pattern with the small triangles. I'll adhere that strip on the left side of the card. For a little bit of contrast, I'll put a Love From Lizi peel off along the edge of the green strip. I'm using the gold matte finish in the pinstripe style. This is the narrowest width. I love having the variety of different widths, and if you want an even wider, Lizi does have her straight peel off style, which is a little bit wider than the widest width on the pinstripe sheet. I'll wrap the end around the back, layer this piece on some craft cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. Next, I'll add one of the yellow banners. Most of the banners have an image, but this one just has the little outline of a label design where you could add a sentiment or image. I'll adhere the banner toward the bottom of the card. Next, I'll put adhesive on the back of the wooden bicycle. I'm using Ranger's multi-medium matte adhesive. This works really well for the wooden pieces, and Lizi loves to add the wooden pieces in her kit. The card kit also includes some pearlescent card bases and envelopes. Instead of using them as card bases, I decided to use one of the card bases as specialty cardstock. I used a small piece and cut out a small banner, and I'll adhere it in the upper left-hand corner. Now I'll use the gem stickers that are included in the kit, put 2 in the upper left-hand corner and 3 around the bicycle image. Then for a final finishing touch, I'm using the silver gel pen that's included in the kit, adding a little extra detail to the yellow banner. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 10. I have one final bonus card to share with you. I'm using some of the Silver Bundle 6x6 heavyweight paper. This is an add-on that's available. Has this beautiful black marble finish with silver foil detail. Last month, Lizi offered a similar set with copper detail, and it sold out right away. So this month she has a fun silver version. I'll first layer it on some black cardstock for that little bit of separation, then add it to some yellow pattern paper. This is the same pattern paper I used for the carpet on a previous card. I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base. Using Love From Lizi's brand new stitch tag dies, I cut out a tag from some pattern paper. Has a very light green color to it with that slight texture finish. I'll adhere it in place using some glue. I'll add a bow at the top of the tag. I use some of the narrow silver ribbon that's included in the kit. To adhere it in place, I put a small glue dot on the back. Now I'll add several different cut apart images. I have 2 hanging plants and 2 sweet blue birds. I have foam dimension on the back of all the cut apart pieces. I'll put the 2 plants on the tag and a bird on the right and left side. For a final finishing touch, I'm using the silver gel pen that's included in the kit, adding highlights to the birds and also the planters. So there is my finished card, and this is card number 11. Now here's another look at the 11 cards I made using Love From Lizi's October 2023 card kit called Better Together. If you are interested in purchasing any of the products I used in this video, I do have links provided in the description box below. This is a monthly kit, so quantities are always limited. The only way to guarantee receiving a kit is to sign up and subscribe, and I do have links for subscribing in the description box. Love From Lizi always offers unique card kits. The October kit has so many fun products. Even after 11 cards, I still have a ton of stuff left over, and there are some items I never even used. Be sure to check out the rest of Love From Lizi's design team for more inspiration using this kit. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.